Thanks for joining us. We are back to look at another prayer. He has turned to stone.
Oh, a cardboard cutout. Hello.
I should get a cardboard cutout. I should get a cardboard cutout of you to sit right there next to me.
That would be
But it wouldn't make the same weird faces that you make.
Unless you got it like made out of the same stuff as Larry the Cucumber's paper bag.
That's a cartoon. It's hard to get real things made out of cartoon material. All right, so we are looking at another prayer, this one from Numbers 21.
Are you sure?
Yes, pretty sure.
Okay, I'm not.
Again, another of those wild events.
Happens a lot in the Old Testament.
New Testament too, for that matter.
Name 12.
Peter, Andrew, James, and John. All right.
The 12 was an accident, by the way, and it just kind of popped out. I was like, man, he's going to do the apostles.
Well, all right. So the children of Israel
Shocking here.
are complaining.
I wanted to guess.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And
well, guess what they were complaining about?
Food.
They did complain about food a lot. In this case, yes, that's exactly.
Oh wait, it actually is?
Yeah, they were complaining about the worthless manna, and they were sick of eating it. And they were angry. That's not actually on the verse there. You can read about it up there. Anyway, so the few verses before 7 through 9, they're just like, we are so sick of this worthless food, and we can't stand it anymore.
To be fair, by this point, they have been eating
manna
for 2 years. Over 2 years.
Yeah, and if you ever want to get a feel for that, just try eating nothing but rice, and just see how many different ways can you fix rice before you kind of get tired of it. I mean, you just there's only so much you can do. Now, if it was shrimp, I mean, you have a whole song about all the things you can do with shrimp.
I do.
But they couldn't eat shrimp because shrimp was unclean to them. So they could not have shrimp.
And rice was in China, so they couldn't have it either.
But they could have manna. But they were sick of manna. So they're complaining to God about it. And God doesn't like it when people complain when he's giving. Have you ever given somebody a gift?
No.
And I know you haven't. I was talking to them.
I'm not a nice person. Someone help me.
His sister's birthdays the last couple of days. I'm like, Xander, do you have a present for us for our birthdays? And he's like, why would you think I'd give you a present for your birthday? And his sister's like, he never gives any of us presents. Why would he give you one?
In my defense, you did say that our present to them was raking out the path.
I did all the work.
I was busy,
Well, you did carry the logs out there for them to sit on.
Yes, I did. Those things are heavy.
Yeah. Well, they have
a weak boy, see?
Yeah, flabby arms.
Not flabby. There's just nothing there.
It is flabby. Look at that. Look at that flabby.
Who's talking?
Mine's solid table fat. All right. So, you ever given somebody a present and they just didn't like it and let you know that they didn't like and they didn't appreciate it, and it's just like, well, that's stupid, that's ugly, why would I want one of those? You ever had that happen?
Everyone I know is nicer than that.
Well, I'm glad you have nice people that you know.
I do have nice people. I don't let bad people stay.
Maybe they didn't actually say it. Maybe they get it and they go, and then they go, oh, well, thank you. No, but if you've ever had that happen, and maybe it was a child, see, that you don't have children, so you don't know how unappreciated gifts can be. You ever done something for them and they didn't appreciate it? There, all right. He does not have 4 children. He has 4 sisters.
There's no difference.
All right. So anyway, that's that frustration that, well, why did I waste my time trying to give you a gift if you're just going to treat me this way after I gave you a gift? And amplify that to an entire nation that you're feeding daily and leading them to a promised land that you're going to give. I mean, you have to understand God's frustration with these people. Well, he is so angry at them about this that he sends some poisonous snakes, fiery serpents. It's actually weird. The word here is actually the same as seraphim. He sends seraphim, which are pictured as winged snake-like.
He sent dragons to go kill them all.
It's kind of like dragons. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, but these poisonous serpent-type creatures of some kind. Some translations translate it as fiery serpents, some poisonous serpents. But anyway, it's an odd word.
I was thinking the last couple of times and now this time, we've given the Israelites certainly a hard time, and in several areas they do deserve it. But I also want you to think about what God said, that they tested him only 10 times.
Only 10 times. I mean, only 10 times in 2 years.
2 years, an entire nation of people, and they only tested him 2 times. Now,
well, that's the entire nation. That's not like individuals. I mean, individuals did their own sinful things. But the whole group.
But still, let's smaller scale here.
Okay.
You got 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
How many times in 2 years do us kids as a whole just like really upset you and mom?
I mean, all of you as a group, I
maybe exclude me because I'm perfect, but you know. Hey, he can.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect at annoying me. That's what he's perfect at.
It's not difficult.
No, I mean, as a group, it's usually like 1 or 2 of you, or maybe 3 that are fussing and fighting about something. Particularly 3 little ones that can't get along with each other and play together. It's rarely the whole group. I mean, but I mean, I guess, but I wouldn't say 10. Not there. There have not been 10 times in the last 2 years that I wanted to kill all 5 of you. I'll just say it that way. There have not been 10 times.
Okay.
I won't say how many there have been, but it wasn't 10.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was less than 10.
Okay. See, there we go.
Less than 10 times.
Close all your loopholes.
Yeah, because you're like going, like 365 a year. Yeah, but you got to understand God's frustration with them, and he sends the snakes, and it gets a response from them. They quickly come to him, and they want to pray, and they come to Moses, and they say, "We've sinned, we've spoken against the Lord and against you. Pray to the Lord for us." Remember, they didn't feel like they could pray to God themselves. They had to have Moses as a mediator.
How absurd the statement you made is that, like, the snakes start coming and they're killing people, and then they that gets a response from, they go to Moses. I'm just thinking, God practically sends dragons to go attack them, and he got a response there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess a part of the reason I say you got a response was, I mean, if you get over into the book of Revelation, God sends plagues that are just like
air.
Yeah. I mean, 1/3 of the people die in the whole world or something like that. And it says, and the people still continue to, so, I mean, he get a response out of this.
God pulled a Thanos.
Yeah. Well, he can do it.
Yeah.
One of these days he'll wipe it all out. So forget half of it. It'll all be gone. Anyway, so they come to Moses, and so Moses prayed for the people. We don't have his exact words that he prayed, but they come saying, please, that he'll take away these serpents from us. And so Moses prayed. The Lord then answers Moses, all right, you make a bronze copy of this fiery serpent and on a pole, and you put it on the pole, and then anyone who has been bitten, when he looks at it, he'll live. And so Moses made the serpent out of brass or bronze or whatever and put it on the pole. And anybody that got bit by the serpent, then he could look at that brass one and it'd be healed. And this is, Jesus uses this in John 3, 10 through 16, that area, as a symbol of him and what he did when he was lifted up on the cross and cured us from the bite of the worst serpent of all, Satan's bite of sin in our lives. Speaking of dragons, Satan, the great red dragon.
Puff? What?
No, Satan, the great red dragon, not Puff the magic dragon. They're two totally different dragons. Anyway, as we looked at, so we see God answers the prayer and he saves the people. Of course, how many of them, actually died before they started coming to God? And
Is there a number on that anywhere about how many people died in that?
I don't remember there being a number on that, but who knows?
There doth not appeareth to be.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, getting bit by a poisonous snake, and yeah, and again we see how faith works, and we see that faith has to work. God set up, Moses makes this bronze serpent on the pole, and he tells the people, you're going to be healed if you'll look at this. I know, there's.
I like the buildings on fire method.
Well, but this is a perfect example. I mean, If you look at it, you're going to be healed. But how many people could have laid in their tents after being bit by the snake, lay there moaning, groaning, well, I wish God would save me from this. And somebody says, hey, if you just look at the bronze serpent on that pole, you can, and they go, oh, I believe that would work. And then they keep laying there moaning and groaning and die.
Yeah, I love the story where there's a gigantic flood in the city, and the guy's on the rooftop of his house, and he's like, okay, there's water literally everywhere. There's no way I can get out of this situation on my own, but God will save me. I have faith.
God, save me. Please save me.
God, you're going to save me. And so then a little motorboat comes by, and the people are like, well, come on, get into the boat. We'll help you get out of here. And he's like, no, don't worry about it. God is going to save me. I pray to him. I trust him. God's going to save me. And they're like, all right. And so then some more time passes. The guy prays again. God, will you please save me from this flood? And another boat goes by, and the guys there are like, well, come on, get into our boat. We can get you out of here. We can save you. The guy's like, no, you don't worry about it. Go help somebody else. God is with me, and I trust him, and he is going to save me. Mm-hmm. And so the guys are like, okay, well, you have fun with that. And so the guy prays again, God, please help me out here.
Well, the water's getting higher.
I mean,
it's up on the roof now.
I'm all the way at the peak of the roof. It's getting close to my feet, but I know that you can save me from all of this. So please help me out here. And then a helicopter comes through, and they drop the rope ladder, and they're like, come on, climb up into the helicopter, and we can just fly you out of here, and you'll be fine. And the guy's like, no, you don't worry about me. God's going to be with me, and I trust him, and he's going to save me. And then
he drowns.
Then he drowns. And so he's up there, and the story goes that he's talking to St. Peter at the pearly gates, and he's like,
why didn't God save me?
Why didn't God save me? Why didn't y'all do anything? And Peter says, we sent you 2 boats and a helicopter. What more do you want?
Yeah, we have to take advantage of the thing. We have to, gifts don't work unless you accept the gift and open it up and use it. I mean, it's pointless. And so, yes, God's grace is a gift. Yes, he offers it freely to us based on our faith. But that faith has to actually do what he says to do. These people had to look at the serpent on the pole in order for it to save them. And Jesus calls on us to respond in certain ways. And if we refuse to do that, then we don't really have faith. Because faith will respond to what God tells us. And so those that had the faith went out and looked at the serpent, and he lived. Anybody that looked at the serpent would live, even though he'd been bitten by the poisonous one. So an amazing thing here, and a great image of Christ. And Christ calls on us to, if you love me, keep my commandments. And then we sit there saying, well, I don't have to do this and that and the other thing, because I have faith in Jesus. I love Jesus, and so I don't have to. Yes, you do. Because if you're not doing what he said, then you don't love him. You don't have faith in him. And he's not bound to save everyone who calls him Lord, Lord. He's not. All right, we kind of got off track a little bit with this.
Just a tad.
Just a tad.
Yep.
Well, you and your flood stories.
It was connected.
It's all connected. It's in the Bible. These Bible things are all connected.
That story was in the Bible?
No, that story was not in the Bible.
They had helicopters in Jesus' day.
It's the wheel in the middle of the wheel that goes around. But I hope that we'll realize the importance of, first of all, when we do sin against God, coming to him and praying and asking others to pray for us. But also realizing that when God tells us what to do, let's do it. Let's just do it.
Yeah. When God tells us what to do, just do it.
Just do it.
There we go.
Okay. All right.
See y'all tomorrow.
Y'all have a good day.
Bye.